Yeah, well, a couple of weeks ago we played North Melbourne here, and the stat sheet probably read similar, but not in our favour. But we were a little bit fortunate. But I think ultimately, they probably managed that last little piece of the game a little bit better than we did, and certainly quarter one, it was 13 inside 50s to 2 or 3 or something like that. So in that first quarter, so we kicked really accurately in the first half and pretty inaccurately in the second half. But whenever any game under a goal, there's a little bit of luck involved. So, but there's some things we could have done better as well. Yeah, I thought we didn't. Yeah, I don't think we challenged them as much as we probably could have, taken the ball off the line. But sometimes that's about their defensive setup, their defensive pressure as well. So I'll have to have a look back and see if there were genuine opportunities we missed, or it was just a situation where a good pressure team shuts down some of your ability to access the open side. Yeah, I think, they're just getting us on the outside of the contest a little bit. So the stoppage number was about the same, but I think it was a fairly significant differential ground ball. So away from that initial stoppage contest. So we were just probably lacking just a little bit of sharpness and in terms of our ability to get onto that secondary ball. So that was something we spoke about at the break, and to their credit, the players really went to work in that space and got that back in the positive. As you said, a lot of the numbers read pretty well after quarter time. So then you just got to take your chances, and we didn't. Yeah, well, you don't want to. I mean, obviously we had the double chance today, so we won't have that next week. So we'll have to make sure we're on and manage that. Manage the disappointment of today really well, so that we can be really clear and focused on what we've got to do from here on in. Ultimately, the equation in finals is, if you finish top 4, you've got to win 3 in a row. Would have been nice to tick one off, but we didn't. So we've got to get that first one next week. Yeah. Yeah, no, I thought. Oh, pretty full. Yeah, I thought that was a. Oh no, I don't think so. I think what happens is often that's the way it is. Someone bobs up. If the forward group works, as a collective, then someone ends up on the end of it. And today it was her, but I think it's worth noting that it was a really outstanding performance, and probably as much as anything, the reward came off the back of just her work rate and her ability to just keep getting to contests, and it was really, really strong performance.
Really pushing hard in that last 2 minutes. How did you see that 2 minutes?
Yeah, well, obviously once you get masses of density back, then you're going to need a little bit of luck. We probably were a little bit slow just to equalise those numbers. That's a learning for our group. It's obviously something we've discussed, but in the moment, just recognising, oh wait a minute, we've got 2 or 3 extra ones back here, probably not going to help us at this moment in time. So we'll have another look at that. Once again, it's not something we haven't discussed, but the difference is executing under extreme pressure. So and we didn't quite nail it. That's life. We've got to move on. Yeah. Well, they won the last 4, so it's starting to feel that way, isn't it? But I think last season, we weren't quite where we're at now, and they were very, very good last year. So we came into those games, and I felt they were a better team than us last year. But I don't necessarily think that's the case this season. I think, as I said, both games have fallen their way, and there's some things we could do better. But I feel we're more than capable of competing and having the result go the other way.
Is there any risk
I don't think so, but we'll see.
Is there a lot of work to do to get the team back up, or are they pretty resilient by the time?
They'll bounce, yeah. My read is that they'll bounce, but that doesn't mean next week's eschewing. We've got to wait and see who we're playing, and then they'll have to come here to our home ground, but they'll have just come off a winning final, so we need to just prepare really well and hopefully execute just a little bit better. No worries, guys.